Welcome to another lesson. This time we're going to initialize Web3 and talk a little bit about how you can do that in the app.js file. You can start off from the end of the previous lesson by cloning the GitHub repository using the following command. Once the repository has been downloaded, the first thing we're going to do is to install the node dependencies. Let's open up the project directory. Let's go into index.html and make a simple status label. Let's give our status a default text. Don't forget to save before exiting. Next, we're going to start coding for Web3 and MetaMask. We're going to do this inside app.js. So let's recap what we have so far in app.js. We use jQuery to find out when the document is ready and loaded. Then we call a function called init, and the function init immediately calls the function initWeb3. So now we're going to start writing the function initWeb3. If the Web3 object is not undefined, that means MetaMask has already initiated a Web3 object. So we'll use the Web3 object that's provided by MetaMask. So we'll set our app's Web3 provider equal to the current provider of the Web3 object. Then I'm going to set the status label to say that MetaMask was detected. If the Web3 object is not initiated, that means we're going to be responsible for creating a Web3 provider. We can do that here using the local host. Ideally, we want to use MetaMask, so I also set an alert here to let the user know. So now that we have a Web3 object, there's a lot of things we can do with it. The one thing we're going to do here is we're going to use it to acquire the account balance of the current user in Ether. So we'll use web3.eth.getAccounts, and that'll give us a callback function. First, we'll make sure we're not in error. And if we are, we'll alert the user and return from the function. A valid callback function will give us the accounts inside of an array. I've saved this in a global variable called account. If the account is empty, it's likely because the user hasn't logged into MetaMask. At this point, we should have a valid account, and it's time to exit the function. What we're going to do is we're going to return the next function, and that function is called initContract. I skipped over a few of the alerts, so let's go back and finish them. We still have to write the setStatus function that changes the label inside the index.html. So let's go ahead and do that now. It's a pretty simple function. Before we exit, let's set some to-dos for our next lesson. Let's save and exit. Let's test what we have by running our local dev server. As you can see, we've set the status label and it says MetaMask detected. That's because I have MetaMask installed, as you can see in the top right corner of my screen. With that, we've reached the end of this lesson. If you had trouble following along, you can simply download the final version of the code for this lesson using the git clone command you see on your screen. I look forward to talking to you in the next lesson.